this. Trying to stream on YouTube. Give me a second to set this up. Alright, I think we're good. Just gotta close my closet door because it's looking wrecked. Peace, peace, peace. What's good, everyone? Alright. So officially, I normally start at 9 o'clock, so it's 9 o'clock now, so I'm just getting to do this because I'm not going to be long. But in the divine name of Supreme Being, I want to greet everyone with a civilized greeting. Peace. Welcome, Black. From yesterday, I told everyone I was coming back on at 9 o'clock tonight, and keeping my word. Of course, without Mr. Shane Shakur, I don't know what happened to him. No, I know. He called me and said he was sick. So I said, nah, bro, leave the germs over there. Hold on, y'all. I was like, nah, bro, you gotta leave the germs over there, man. So he agreed to leave the germs over there. All right, we're gonna wait for this thing to populate just a few more seconds, and we're gonna have this conversation. Hopefully we can have this conversation, a decent conversation, because I want to be able to pull some things out of you as some from some questions that I just had on my mind watching the news today and talking to a few people. Shout out to Quan. What's good with you, Quan? Block boy, how you feel, man? Alex Little. All right. Keith Burgess, what's going on with you, man? Peace, man. Cliff C, what's happening? Moon, what's up, bro? All right, Hassan Burton, how you feel? All right, but anyway, in the meantime, between time, if you would like to donate to the platform, that's the Sirius Mindz platform. All you have to do is hit the Cash app. All right, it's $ Professor Griff, or just go. That's $ Professor Griff. Somebody sent me a message and said, bro, you be talking too fast. I wanted to send you $3, but anyway, $ Professor Griff, or all right, the enemy's public. Walaikum salam. Go to PayPal, www.paypal.me/Professor Griff Corp. All right, that's Professor Griff Corp, CORP. All right, cool. Now, of course, there's other ways you can donate. You can go right to the website, www.professorgriff.me. You can donate that way, or you can just hit me up, put some food stamps in the mail, whatever, and we good. We can make it happen that way. All right. Do they still use food stamps? No, they got a card now or something. But yeah. Anyway, hold on for a second. Let me just get my dry out of this tangled web right here. All right, cool. All right, so tonight I wanted to talk about the guilty verdict that they handed down to ex-police officer Miss Amber Guyger. All right, and this was the white. Thanks, Alex Little. Really appreciate you. All right, Alex Big. I don't know. Maybe we can talk to your mom and dad about changing your name or something. I don't know. Alex Big, Alex Little. Right now, I know we're gonna call you Alex X. Anyway, all right, so this is the white police officer, and I watched some footage. I think it was on CNN. It was on a couple of different websites that I watched these people and the language that they use surrounding this particular case and some of the things that they said, but most of all, a lot of things that they did not say. So, with that said, all right, this is the white police officer, or now ex-police officer. It says a jury found ex-Dallas police officer Amber Guyger guilty of murder in the death of Botham Jean, her 26-year-old neighbor. All right. So what I wanted to do is have a conversation and basically dispel the myth, the rumor, the just all of the non-factual information that's been surrounding this particular case. All right. So let us look at it like, well, let's just read what they have to say, and then we can kind of process it, digest it, pull it apart, and kind of make it happen. Guyger fatally shot Botham in his own apartment, which she said she mistook for hers. Now, she said this was her apartment. Now, rather than me going over all of the details that you already know about the case and waste time, let's just dive right into it. Here's what we know about the case. The verdict: the jury deliberated less than 24 hours. Now, I'm not sure if they showed y'all the makeup of the jury. Now, keep what Dr. Francis Cress Welsing said in mind in reference to racism, white supremacy, and the definition of racism. All right. So now, when it comes to an almost all white jury in most cases, because they didn't allow black people to judge white people. I'm gonna say that again. They did not allow black people to judge white people, especially in white people's court of law. All right? All right. So now, with that said, if we look at the working fundamental definition of racism, white supremacy, we'll find in it that there are no quote-unquote provisions for black people to stand as judge and quote-unquote, I could say judge, over white people in order to determine whether they live or whether they die. But if you notice, the language, when I say language, listen to what I'm saying. When I say language, I don't only mean the English language that they were speaking in the courtroom, right? I mean the body language also. Instantly she turned on the tears when, almost like on cue, all right? So there's some facts that I think that if we got together tonight to discuss, we would be able to bring some clarity, not only to us as individuals, but and our families and our children who are watching this whole thing unfold, on how we're going to deal with this situation, all right? But us collectively, all right? Let me see. Okay. All right, hold on. Let me refresh this. This thing's stuck like Chuck. Hold on. All right. I guess we good. All right. So I'm saying I don't think that, or I do think that the people there, the black people that are in position in Dallas, might have some sway over the way this case was handled. All right, you'd have to have a few boot-licking, handkerchief-head Uncle Toms and Aunt Thomasinas up in the mix in order for that thing to get pulled off via the good old boy network in the Dallas Police Department. All right, so nah, I don't think so. I don't think she was a sacrifice. All right, so now the verdict: the jury deliberated less than 24 hours. The jury had two questions for the court this morning before they reached the verdict. According to the attorneys for the Jean family, they asked for the definition of manslaughter and for additional information on the so-called Castle Doctrine. What is the Castle Doctrine? All right, it's CASTLE Doctrine. What is the Castle Doctrine? And as you all know, on this platform, Sirius Mindz, we have to be able to mindfully understand these kinds of phrases, terms, terminology, words, whatever, in order for us to get a deeper understanding of what these people are actually trying to say before she gets set free or she's found guilty. All right? The legal notion, the castle doctrine, the legal notion that your home is your castle and you have the right to use lethal force to defend your home and not retreat. Hypothetically speaking, if someone broke in to my home, according to the castle doctrine, I could stand my ground in my home that if you come past the threshold, and you heard me say this before, if you come past the threshold in my house and you set it off, then it's on and popping. I got the right to defend myself. All right? Now, dealing with the escalation of force, if you come in shooting spitballs and you expect me to shoot a spitball back, it ain't gonna happen. I may not have a spitball. You may get hit with a shoe, and in most cases, your ass gonna get hit with a hammer. But I'm just saying. All right? So I wouldn't advise you breaking in Professor Griff's house. I'm just saying. But if we're talking about the legal notion that your home is your castle and you have the right to use lethal force to defend your home and not retreat. Next, huge victory outside the court. Outside the court, Esley Merritt, an attorney for Jean's family, called the rare, did I say rare? Let's underline rare and put it in a bold font, rare murder conviction against a police officer a huge victory. They called it a huge victory, not only for the victim's family, but also for black people in America. White people don't find other white people guilty for killing black people. White people don't find other white people guilty for killing black people. Now, the sentencing hearing, the jury heard from Jean's mother, who described the day she learned her son had been fatally shot. My life has not been the same. She said today in court, it's been like a roller coaster. Possible sentence. With the murder conviction, Guyger, age 31, faces up to life in prison. Now, that little thing that I just read, give me some feedback on what y'all think. What do you think should happen? Matter of fact, let's just flip the script. What would happen? Black cop, white man in his apartment gets shot by a black police officer. Black female police officer. What do you think would happen? What do you think would happen? Okay, James Mobell Award, they would get the death penalty. Cop goes to jail. Okay, life, 20 years. You see, instinctively, what's up, Sheriff? Instinctively, we seem like we already know if the tables were turned. Instinctively, we already know if the tables were turned. In this situation, black female cop shoots white man in his apartment, you already know they going to jail. You already know they're getting a life sentence, electric chair, burned at the stake, whatever. However they kill people nowadays. So now, since it's a case of white female cop shooting black man in his own home, and then now we went through a year or so, I don't know how long has it been since this has happened, but we waited this long. There's a guilty verdict that was handed down. Now, realistically, All right? How long do you think she's going to spend in jail? Realistically. And from what I just read, she could be facing up to life in prison. And so, how long? Several people are saying 7 years max, 5 years. Somebody said, I think 12. Somebody said, I think 10. Somebody said the minimum. Somebody said 10 years maybe. What do you say, Sherb? 10 years maybe? 2 years? She's getting out in 2. She could get a minimum of 5 years. Probation. Somebody said pat on the back. Somebody said a trip to McDonald's or Burger King. Okay, no. Is it unfathomable to think that anyone could get 5 years for murder? All right, so let's piece it apart and let's be realistic and have it make sense to the minds right here on Sirius Mindz. Does it make sense to you? All right. 229 black people were shot by cops in 2018. Okay. Wow. How many of them went to jail? I wanted to play a clip from Whoopi Goldberg and how they tried to assassinate his character. And then the 2 witnesses that they had on the stand, 2 black men, they tried to assassinate that character also by talking about their convictions or their court issues or whatever. Which I don't think it was relevant in this kind of situation, but they did bring them up. Alright? Alright. Every once in a while, it has to be a balance. Okay? It keeps us thrown. It keeps us thrown. Never know when we might tear this mother up. Oh, okay. Garrick Bell, thank you. Really appreciate that. Do you see her in her court and the black female officer straightening her hair? Wow. No, I didn't see that. I might want to pull it up, put it on one of my screens up here. Wow. Hold on. Now, you just said something that speaks volumes, Sherba Griffin. Let me see. YouTube. Now, I've sat and watched her whole testimony. I saw when she clicked on, turned on the water faucet and cried crocodile tears. And I'm just saying to myself, okay, we're not interested in how much you can cry and how sorry you was. We're not interested in that. I'm interested in if you've been trained by a police agency and you went through the necessary training. All right, let's click on our common sense. And we have not been trained. Well, I've been trained, but we have not been trained. I go with all my gear in my hand, getting off work, tired as hell, working a double shift. I'm tired as hell. But I still have my firearm on me. I go to my own door, or a door that I think is my door, with a bright ass red rug out there, knowing goddamn well I didn't put the rug out there. I go to the door. I try to use my key. It don't work. I see that the door is ajar. First thing I'm doing is putting my stuff down, right? I'm putting it down, drawing my weapon. All right? I'm pushing the door open. I'm reaching inside for a light switch because I want to be able to see what I'm engaging or who I'm engaging. This is basic police training. I'm giving a verbal command. All right? I'm giving a verbal command. I'm waiting for a verbal response. At the same time, my weapon is drawn. I'm pointing it at the floor, though, now. All right? I'm giving a verbal command. I'm waiting for the verbal command to come back, the response. If my door is ajar, I'm checking just the inside of my door. You understand? At that point, all right? At that point, I might pull the door closed. All right? I might get on the horn. I'm officer so-and-so and so-and-so. I'm at address yada 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 whoop-de-whoop. I need backup. Send a unit to this address yada 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 whoop-de-whoop. I'm going to back away to make sure I'm not in danger. I'm not going to engage anyone. I'm not going in. I'm going to wait for backup. Roger Chillis, please help me out on this. All right? As an officer, I'm going to close the door. Right? I'm going to wait for backup. All right? I'm going to wait for the dispatcher to respond to me on whether they're sending me backup and how far is it away. I'm going to wait for backup to come. At that particular point, I can gather myself. I'm not amped up. All right? I'm clear. I can look at the goddamn number on the apartment and the red rug, and I know this ain't my goddamn apartment. Right? I'm talking about sensibly now. And thinking. There's some police officers that are on here watching this. All right? If I went to that door and my own, I'm thinking that that's my own door, and my own door was ajar, I'm thinking somebody broke my lock and now they're in my apartment. I'm not going to engage them in the apartment. All right? I'll crack it open, firearm drawn, pointed at the ground, give a verbal command, wait for the response. I already called backup. All right? I'm not going to engage. All right? I might even shut the door. So that person, whoever it is, cannot get out. They got to get past me. All right? I'll take a couple of steps away from the door in case somebody's shooting through the door. I'm stepping to the side and I'm waiting for backup. Once they let me know backup is coming, backup is here, then me and the other officers can then enter into the premises. To me, that's clear. To me, it's safe. To me, that's what the hell I would do. All right? Now, you talk about a white woman getting off work, working a double shift, tired as hell, going to the wrong floor, the wrong door, the wrong apartment with her gear in her hand. All right? Banging on a door that she said was hers. It's like, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Her neighbors heard no verbal command. You're absolutely right. No verbal command. They heard open the door. So I don't know who she was talking to. So this stuff that y'all been passing around the internet about dude having a secret relationship with the white woman is not true. Let's dispel that myth right now. It's not true. Listen, the locks on the door are digital and they're electronic. Anytime someone engages that lock, all right, that's recorded. I'm going to say that again. I'm going to say that again. Anytime you engage that lock, right, it's recorded. So if she tried to open that lock, it would have shown that no key pass. That means you can't get in. All right? So that takes care of that lie. All right? They took pictures and film footage of the lock and showed people that you cannot break in that lock, break that lock. Only way you can get in that lock, past that lock, is if you have the key. She said the door was ajar, meaning that he left the door open. Not true. They went and they showed footage, and it's on YouTube, that anytime you swing the door open and you let it go, it automatically shuts and locks behind you. All right? So the whole idea of the door being ajar, thought it was my apartment, something with my key, whatever, is just not true. It's not true. Now, if this man is in his house, if you come in my house, all right, cop or not, all right, and you don't give a verbal command and I don't know who you are, then I have the right, according to the law that they said that we have, which is the castle law. Let me read it to you again. Castle doctrine, the legal notion that your home and your is your castle, and you have the right to use lethal force to defend your home and not retreat. All right? So let me say this at this point. That happened to Professor Griff. I'm sitting on the couch. watching the goddamn Andy Griffin show, whatever the fuck I was watching that day. All right, minding my own goddamn business, with the remote in my hand on the couch. I lived in City View Apartments, downtown Atlanta. Minding my own business. Some idiot tried to break in while I was there, didn't know I was there, used a screwdriver to jimmy the sliding door. And I'm sitting right there, probably about 6 to 8 feet away from where the person tried to break in. So I'm seeing the silhouette and I'm hearing him trying to break in. So I just eased away, real slow, went to the bedroom, got my heat. All right, I didn't sit back down on the couch. All right, I went behind the couch and I kneeled down. All right, and I put my firearm right above the couch. All right, so the only thing they saw basically was my eyes, all right, and my gun. Person still trying to break in. I'm sitting there, right? I heard the lock pop. It popped. They began to slide the sliding door open real slow. All right? I saw the hand come to pull the curtain back. All right? I had the dude fixed. I had a fixed shot on him. And I said to myself, let me think about this. All right? I saw his foot come inside the apartment, right past the door. And all I did was I went from him to the glass. I shot, busted the glass. I seen him jump over the railing and take off. Now, I know a lot of y'all saying, well, at that time, at all that waiting and all this aiming and all this stuff you was doing, why didn't you just call the police? You understand what I'm saying? To be honest with you, I'm not thinking about calling the police. I don't know where my cell phone was. I'm thinking about protecting myself. If some would say, okay, well, you should have went when you was getting your gun. You should have grabbed the cell phone, went in the bathroom, locked the door, hovered down, got in the bathtub, called 911. It's like, yeah, but okay, it didn't happen that way. So I'm saying to y'all, and at that particular time, I was in PSTI. I think it was right before PSTI, right after or something like that. I forgot which period it was. But PSTI is Public Safety Training Institute that I went through. And it's the preliminary thing before you can go into Child Protective Service or any other branches, whether it's police or whatever. Me coming out of the military with military training, correctional specialist training. All right, so I say to myself, okay, I got some training. I know how to handle this situation, whatever. All right. So all of that took place. I called the cops. Finally, they came, and they were just like, took a report, whatever. So he says, well, listen, I need you to just sit here. Let me go talk to a couple of neighbors to see where that bullet went. All right, to make sure it didn't hit anybody else. And that was understandable. White cop. He came back. He says, listen, this kind of stuff happens all the time. Yada, yada, yada. I'm Officer so-and-so. Here's my card. Anything else happens, just give me a call. Call 911. This is my zone. Whatever. All right. Officer came back to check on me later on that night. After he said he talked to a couple of neighbors when he was on his way out, and they said they did see somebody trying to break in an apartment, and they saw the guy ran. So the officer knew I wasn't lying. All right. But there's a law in Georgia that you cannot set up shoot your firearm. You have to have a justifiable reason. All right, but let's get back to the case. So Guyger's sentencing hearing wraps up for the day. The sentencing phase of Guyger's trial has ended for the day. The hearing will resume tomorrow morning. Earlier today, Guyger's former Dallas police officer was found guilty of murder in the 2018 fatal shooting of Botham Jean. All right. So we have to kind of look at the intricacies of how not only the Dallas Police Department, all right, rallied behind a white female police officer by trying to assassinate the character of a black man who really had no messed up record at all. So you mean to tell me, I think Whoopi Goldberg or somebody said it, that you cannot be a black man in your own apartment, in your own castle, smoking whatever you want to smoke? Help me out. This kind of stuff is unheard of in the white community. Somebody please pull up the case where you find a black man entering, a black woman or a black man entering a white man's apartment and shooting him dead and then blaming it on him because she was in the wrong apartment. Okay, next point. The toxicology report. Help me out, y'all. Where is the toxicology report of the white police officer? No one? Help me out. Somebody? Nobody? Talk to me. If I shot somebody, that's the first thing they're doing. They're coming, they're searching the house with a warrant. They're getting a toxicology report. They're taking my blood. They're taking my urine. They might even get my cell phone records, the whole bit. Right? They want to find out because I shot somebody. They want to know whether or not what was in my system. What was in this woman's system? What was the phone records looking like? Someone said she was having an affair with another white police officer and didn't want it disclosed. All right? So all of a sudden now when we get this, it's an ongoing investigation. All kind of stuff is being hidden. All kind of stuff is being rearranged and cleaned up. All right? So now I guess she was going to try to have her defense attorney set in motion this whole idea of standing your ground law. That if she thought it was her apartment, she was going to get off on standing her ground because she thought that he was an intruder. There are so many holes in this particular story. All right? I don't see how anyone could say that this woman is innocent. All right? Now, whether she does life is a whole nother story. Whether she does the minimum, which is 5 years, we will see. But I think this case and the information surrounding this case and how people are handling the information about this case is very paramount right now, especially with the climate and what's going on in America with 46-1, all right, campaigning now for the 2020 elections, all right? So I'm seeing some of y'all's response in reference to the toxicology report. What was in the toxicology report? Was she high? Was she drunk? There's many times that a lot of us on here done work double time, overtime, triple time coming home, only to shit, shower, shave, get a bowl of goddamn Captain Crunch and go right back to your next job. That's no excuse for us to pull out a gun and shoot somebody in the wrong goddamn apartment. So some people in and outside of the black community expect us to be forgetful, expect us to be, well, he was probably having an affair with her all along, man. He Uncle Tom. I read all kind of stuff. Y'all done wrote the brother is dead. He can't defend himself. Y'all done wrote the man off and said he's having an affair with the woman. So I'm saying, the man can't speak for himself. All the evidence points to a brutal murder. You couldn't tase the man. You couldn't call for backup. You couldn't give a verbal command. You couldn't turn a light on to see who you engage in. There's a few things that you could have done. Few things that you could have done before you took your firearm out and shot the man. She was wrong all the way around. There was no reason. And for you to sit on the stand and cry crocodile tears is not impressive. Not at all. Not at all. If I'm coming home from work, I'm just not going to the wrong apartment. I just not. My training would have kicked in. If you're a cop, there's just certain instincts that you develop. There's certain kind of checks in your mind, like let me double check that kind of thing. There's some police officers on here listening to this and making comments. I see what y'all are saying. But with that police training and that mindset, there's certain things that you double check. Alright? If you carry a firearm on a daily and consistent basis, you ain't got to be no cop. There's certain things that you're doing and you're not doing. Alright? So according to the law, in Georgia, if you're driving and you got your firearm in your car and you don't have a concealed weapon, listen, you can't conceal the weapon. If the cop pulls up on you, all right, you let him know that you have a firearm. All right. One case, I got pulled over 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, coming through a white neighborhood, Sandy Springs. I saw the cop getting out, took the clip out, all right. I cocked it, locked it back, put it on the dashboard where he could see it. So when he walks up to the car, from his vantage point over my left shoulder, he can look in the car and see the firearm. At that point, no threat. All right, I did it one step further. After he pulled me over, I pulled the car over, put the car in park, put the keys, I put them on the roof so he can see them. I didn't go for the license, registration. I wait for him to give me the verbal command, and then I'm compliant. Because I'm compliant. All right? That situation took all but 3 minutes. Black cop, yada, 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 whoopie whoop. Yo, why you riding your brakes? I said, because I'm eating. I'm hungry as hell. He started laughing. De-escalated it. We talked for a minute. He ain't know I was Professor Griff, but I'm good. Sometimes that happens, but I'm good. But anyway, I offered him some of my veggie burger. He's like, nah, I'm good. Some couscous or some goddamn kombucha. He was like, nah, I'm fine. I'm like, peace. Skirt. I'm going home. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm saying to you, know the law. If you carry a gun, know the law. All right? If you're in your own home and there's a police officer engaging you, know your rights. All right? Not that they're going to respect it, but I'm just saying know your rights. That's your first line of defense. How calm you are and whether or not the conversation and the dialogue that you have with police. You ain't got to give up no vital information. So I'm saying to you, back to the case. Is this just a case of... Now, we got to understand something. Both of Jean's mother and sister, who wore his favorite color to court, actually spoke up and spoke out. We have to get into the mindset that dude, both of Jean, is my brother. I got to be able to defend him whatever position that I'm in order to get people to understand the case. That could be anybody. That could be your brother next. That could be my uncle next. Am I right or wrong? So we got to understand this particular case and how it's working. How it's playing out. Is anything in the Dallas Police Department as far as how they're trained going to change? Other law enforcement agencies, how are they viewing this? All right? Is the law going to change? Is the tactics in the police academy going to change? 228 to 29 black people have been shot by police officers in 2018. Has any of the laws changed? Have any of the tactics that they use changed? Have any of the training that they're receiving in the police academy changed? Have any of these things changed? With black police chiefs, black judge, that jury is comprised of mostly black people. The judge was black. Police chief was black. There was a whole bunch of black people in Dallas. That should make you want to like move to Dallas and be like, yeah, I'm good. I wouldn't suggest that, but I'm just saying. It's the same thing with us when the tables are turned. When it's all white juries. When it's a white judge. All right? When we're in court for simple stuff, we're always judged by them. What happens now from this point forward? There's pending cases right now. What happens? Is it going to change things? Is it going to be the status quo? Is it going to be the regular old, good old boy network that we're going to be facing? All right. What should happen this point forward? All right. DJ Vomit Baby, what's good with you, man? Thanks, man. This needs to be a subject that we have clear and understandable, rational, reasonable conversation about. Nothing crazy, Nothing violent. Nothing, what's the word I'm looking for? Help me out. Crazy, nothing outlandish, nothing above the rim. If we speak within the confines, nothing irrational, thank you. Nothing inflammatory, thank you. Thank you, Quan, thank you, Rufus. Nothing irrational, nothing inflammatory. Dialogue. All right? If we're not getting justice, the brother said, if we're not getting justice in the street, can we at least get justice, all right, in our own home? Smoking while black, walking while black, living while black, nothing drastic, thank you, Professor. All right? So just being black in America now is a crime. All right? How do you navigate that? Because I'm going to be black tomorrow when I wake up. I don't care if some of y'all are on here talking about we're not black. We shouldn't use that. The dictionary says black. Shut up. That's how they view us. Plain and simple. Shit, that lady ain't open that apartment door with her gun drawn, stepping inside that and let me see your green card, or let me see your papers or your status papers. No, you see a black man. So no, that's what they see. That's the language, that's the mindset of racism, white supremacy. All right? And we need to adjust. I'm not telling us to cow down. We just need to adjust how we move and how we navigate through racism, white supremacy. That's why I wrote and gave some of the instruction. Here's my book. In my book, A Warrior's Tapestry. For young people to understand, we got to be able to learn how to navigate through racism, white supremacy, and we got to learn how to move, so we don't end up on the other end of an angry ass, frustrated ass white cop shooting us down. I got so many comments the last time I talked about this. I got, well, we need to look into the deeper aspect of the psychological makeup of penis envy and all this other kind of shit. I'm like, yo, chill. Y'all are turning this into some 10,000-year-old psychodrama like Silence of the Lambs type shit. I'm like, yo, hold up. There's some basic things that are in front of us right now that we ain't even got to go back that far. You see, when white people were trapped under the ice, and I'm just saying, according to the color of her knuckles, that if she was prone to, man, shut up with that, man. Come on. You're right. Being black while being black. So, we should take the valuable lessons from this and use it as a teaching tool, that when we go to engage young people, we have to be able to say, listen, this is what happened, this is the situation, because young people are watching this. So the people that are on here right now, have you had this conversation with your niece, your nephew, your cousin, your little sister, your little brother? Well, you need to, simply because this ain't the last. This hasn't been the first time that this has happened. And whatever makes us think that this is not going to happen again, yeah, you need to readjust your thinking, man. For real. Cynthia Clark. I'm sorry, Cynthia Clark. I don't know you, so I can't bring you on my broadcast. I don't know you. I'm just having a real conversation. All right, we just talking because we're trying to understand from where we're sitting and looking through the lens of a 13, 14-year-old. How are we able to understand this dynamic or this conversation and the way this thing is playing out? All right, young people feel that we're not protecting them, and we can't protect them anywhere. Not in the car, not in the park, not at school. The 6-year-olds just got arrested a minute ago. We can't protect them in the home. They feel we can't protect them, period. All right? Sometimes knowing the law, yes, is cool. Who's the brother that got shot in the car with a firearms permit in his pocket? carrying a gun legally. So we need to understand, yes, understand the law in the cities that we live in. Philando Castile, thank you very much. Philando Castile. That brother died for no reason. Man. He had a firearms permit. Told the cop that he had one. Was going to show him to him. And you still get shot down? So I'm saying to you, sometimes knowing the law, is cool, but even if you within inside the confines and the context of the law, they still deal with you because you black. Because you black first. Walter Scott, Philando Castile, we can name 300-400 people that's been shot by police officers. So I'm saying, know the law, yeah. To make the law work for us is a whole nother different dynamic. I know I didn't say that grammatically correct, but hey, y'all know what I'm talking about. It's a whole different dynamic. Yeah, you know the law. You got it on cap. It's in your briefcase on the next seat. But when the police officer engages you, come on. It's a whole different dynamic. We need to understand all of these situations that we find out ourselves in. All right? And it's sad. Because right now, sisters, listen to me. Right now, as quiet as it's kept, black men are in fear of their lives. To fear. We don't want to engage police officers at all. Yeah, you truly do. All right? I think the way I kind of deal with certain situations when it comes to them, I just, mentally and verbally disarm them. I talk to them the way they feel that they should be talked to. I'll yes sir them to death if that's what you want. Because I'm trying to get home like you trying to get home. All right? You're right, Ernie. Ernest Grant, the Ernster. Dying while black on an everyday basis, man. But see, they used to seeing black people die at their hands. Study, what's the brother's name? Dr. Bobby E. Wright. Study Dr. Bobby E. Wright's work. Great filibuster. Thank you very much, good brother. Really appreciate you. All right? We must learn law every which way we can and own our own, govern our own. All right, that's one way. Teach your younger people on how to navigate through racism, white supremacy. Never tell young people that racism, white supremacy doesn't exist. All right? Never tell young people you can dress different and you can avoid having these kind of situations with police officers. Never tell young people that you got to wear your hair a certain way in order to make white people feel safe around you. These are some of the foolish things I've heard from some of these Negroes online. You mean to tell me I can't wear my Sirius Mindz hat because it threatens white people? What's my brother's name? What's my brother's name? The brother with all the tattoos on his face who got taken off the plane. Mike Fresh? No, Mike. What's Mike's name? Help me out, y'all. He gonna kill me. Anyway, they asked Mike to get off the plane, man. They said he can't travel. You can't get on the plane because you got tats. You know how many white people I know with tats all over them? No, not Mike Jones. Mike Flo. Damn, thank you. Thanks, Khadijah. Mike Flo. Yeah, nah. Come on. I'm not rearranging my attire every time I leave the house because I don't want to offend white people or make white people nervous. Nah, man. I've seen so many beautiful, kinky, nappy hairstyles in the last couple of years than I've ever seen in my goddamn life. Wear your hair the way you want to wear your hair. Nobody tell the Chinese, the Japanese, and these other people, the Italians, the Irish, and other people, how to wear their damn hair. They might offend us. You understand what I'm saying? My wife will tell you there's 3 or 4 different oils that I put on every single day because I want to smell so fresh and so clean. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, it's on a Delta flight? I didn't mean to throw Delta out there like that, but damn. All right. I'm just saying. I want to smell so fresh and so clean. I may be offended by the dog odor. I may be offended by a lot of things, but I'm just saying. That's a reason to deny me to get on a flight? That's a reason to deny me interest into a club or a baseball game or whatever? Come on, man. In constitutional law, it states that blacks are considered 3/5 of a person. Yeah, that's constitutional law. 3/5 of a human being. You mean to tell me a whole human being is 5/5 whole, complete human being? Everyone else, except black people, we 3/5. So you mean to tell me a cow is 5/5 cow, a pig is 5/5 pig, a horse is 5/5 horse? But when it comes to black people, we 3/5 of a human being, and you wrote this in your Constitution? Come on, man. This is why we public enemies. This is why. This is why we kneel. Jay-Z. This is why we kneel. Jigga Man, whatever your goddamn name is. This is why we take the position that we take. Alright? Simply because we get faced with white police officers coming to our homes and shooting us down, and then white police officers that hide behind the badge and the thin blue line, alright, want to criminalize the dead person. Let's go figure that shit out. Alright? Theodore Allen, 2-volume works tell us that white was invented 1681 in Virginia. Okay, help me finish that conversation though, bro. What does that do for us? I don't give a fuck when it was invented, but we're feeling the effects of whiteness and the domination and the colonization of white murderers who have always killed our people. So what information, what's that going to do for me? Help me out with that information. I'm going to study Theodore Allen in 1681 in Virginia. I'm the professor. I do that. I'm going to do the research. I'm going to ask everybody else to do the research. But how is it going to help both of Jean right now and his family? How is it going to help to prevent the next white officer shooting a black child? How is that going to help? It's beautiful that we know this kind of information and we smart. And if we don't change the language, we can't change the condition. This is not our language, man. This is the language of racism, white supremacy. It's not our language to change, bro. And I'm not trying to debate you because I don't debate. But I'm saying to you, it's not our language to change. This is their language. What we can do is teach young people that are coming up what the brother on here just gave us, all right, and how to maneuver and navigate through racism, white supremacy. Yo, I just think it's a disservice for a lot of people to come on these social media platforms and say that we're not black. I don't care what their constitution says. The essence of everything that gave life to everything is black. The essence of every color is black. The essence of everything in life is dark, black, melanated. Any food that speaks to healing the body is black, is dark. It has melanin. It connects with the very essence of who we are. It's a beautiful thing to be black and proud. Now all these other terms and names, because you read the dictionary, that's cool for you, I'm good. But when I get pulled over by the white police officer, I understand the lens that he's viewing me through. All right? And I understand it. We're black. Triple darkness. I took a picture with a brother. They call him Purple last weekend. You understand what I'm saying? Beautiful brother. But brother had the triple darkness going on. The brother was like glistening. I'm like, all right. Almost like you could take a knife and cut some of that melanin off and be like, all right. You understand what I'm saying? Beautiful. Purple, black. All right? Anyway, if y'all have any questions, I appreciate all the donations. If you want to donate to the Sirius Mindz platform, hit the Cash App, $ Professor Griff, or go to PayPal, www.paypal.me/Professor Griff Corp, or just go to my website, www.professorgriff.me. You can donate, or you can give me a call, 678-557-2919. We can dialogue, text me. All right, listen, I will be at the Locks Conference this weekend. I'm speaking on Saturday. Soleil is doing a workshop on Sunday. All right, and then we're going to be in Dallas, Texas, October 26th. Dallas, Texas. We will be in Dallas, Texas, October 26th at the Pan-African Connection. Dallas, Texas, October 26th. October 5th and 6th, we will be at the Locks Conference in Philly. All right, one more announcement. Y'all don't go nowhere. Hold on. Don't go nowhere. I got an announcement to make. I got a message from Dr. Reverend Phil Valentine today. And Dr. Phil Valentine said this: the Harlem Vaccine Forum. All right. Learn the true scientific and legal facts from a panel of health and legal experts. Opening remarks by, okay, we're going to leave that out of it. All right. Keynote speakers, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. All right. Dr. Gary Knoll. Dr. Reverend Phil Valentine L. Mary Holland Esquire. Sheila Ely. Professor Curtis Toss. All right. And there's a host of other people that's going to speak that day. When? Saturday, October 19th. Where? The National Action Network, 106 West 145th Street, Harlem, New York. Time 11:30 sharp. Please plan to arrive early. The admission is free. Join Dr. Reverend Phil Valentine, Curtis Koss, Robert F. Kennedy, Gary Knoll, Mary Holland, Sheila Ely. I had a conversation with Curtis Koss today. Make sure you'll get there Saturday, October 19th, 2019. I'm going to interview Phil Valentine and Curtis Koss right here on Sirius Mindz on Thursday. Make sure y'all tune in. All right? Listen, they're planning on setting an agenda. They already set it in motion. All right? They're going to criminalize everyone that don't take the vaccine. And then if you do take the vaccine, they got you coming and going. But these are the legal experts. These are the health experts that's going to speak and talk to this particular subject, dealing with the Harlem Vaccine Forum. They're going to talk about vaccines and whether or not how effective are the vaccines. Are vaccines completely safe? They're going to go. They're going to talk about and how it affects the children, the rights that parents have, and we need to have this information. A couple of people call me every single week, man. My child can't go to school because they're forcing them to get the vaccines. We need to have that information, and this is the forum to go to. The Harlem Vaccine Forum. All right? Saturday, October 19, 2019, at 11:30 a.m. sharp. It's at the National Action Network, 106 West 145th Street, Harlem, New York. All right? Check out Dr. Reverend Phil Valentine and a host of others. All right? Curtis Koss, Sheila Ely, Mary Holland, Gary Knoll, and Robert F. Kennedy. All right? This is Professor Griff. I got to get out of here. I love y'all to life. Sirius Mindz for Sirius Mindz. Seriously. Because Sirius Mindz attract Sirius Mindz. Seriously. I will see y'all tomorrow night for the Mic Check 1212. Go to www.miccheck1212.com. Send your songs in. Submit your songs. And we'll play them live tomorrow night on the air. I'll see y'all then. All right, Quan. Peace. All right. The Sister Cyclers on Thursday. Make sure you're tuned in. All right, Pink. All right. Peace, man. I got to go. I'm out. Peace. Make sure you'll check out Soleil's video. All right, daughter of the earth. All right. All right. Make sure y'all check it out. Daughter of the earth, holy by design. Nature and love is my religion, so I stay inclined to walk in darkness, bearing gifts for those who stay behind. Holding the lamp along the path for those who need a guide. Story of woman, it's time that it was redefined. Rule of the Earth on YouTube. Check Soleil out. Alright? Professor Griff, I gotta get out of here. Double B, what's good with you? I got you, bro. Alright, sure. Roosevelt Reunion and ATL. Look on my page. Alright, I got you. Black salt, dried herbs, and some knotted twine. Lest you forget. Black salt, man. Herbs. Some twine. Oh, man. Back on my game, back on my grind. Venerated souls, elevated minds. Lighting candle for the ones that's out the realm of time. Making offer for advancement of the humankind. Back on my game, back on my grind. Venerated souls, elevated minds. Lighting candle for the ones that's out the realm of time. Making offer for advancement of the humankind.
Thousands of beautiful women. Who are you beautiful women?
While we're holy, walk up on me slowly. With reverence like you come to ceremony. My cauldron burns for the needy and the lonely. A shapeshifter for the ones that think they know me. Water bender, dazzle all in splendor. Ecstatic union for the ones that need surrender. The alchemy of ecstasy if you remember. When in alignment then you know there's no contender. Womb oracle, lake of liquid bounty. Whisperings of enchantment so astounding. Songs and fables of the ancients so resounding. I bow in reverence on the calm that you found me. Lest you forget, then I come remind. Black salt, dried herbs, and some knotted twine. Lest you forget, then I come remind. Bearing waters of the truth that we are intertwined. Back on my game, back on my grind. Venerated souls, elevated minds. Lighting candle for the ones that's out the realm of time. Making offering for advancement of the humankind. Back on my game, back on my grind. Venerated souls, elevated minds. Lighting candle for the ones that's out the realm of time. Making offering for advancement of the humankind. Grind, venerated souls, elevated minds. Lighting candle for the ones that's out the realm of time. Making offering for advancement of the humankind. Back on my game, back on my grind. Venerated souls, elevated minds. Lighting candle for the ones that's out the realm of time. Making offering for advancement of the humankind.